how important it is to capitalize on days like this today. We had some really nice price action in the market today. Nice bullish movement. It's days like this you have to make sure that you are looking for that you're looking for your setup, and you just make sure to execute it and execute it flawlessly, because when you have days like this, if you get in at the right price and you just manage your trades and have the appropriate amount of size on for what you want, you can have really profitable days. And for me, I think it's going to be my most profitable day of the year so far. So stoked about that, coming off of that big loss yesterday, and basically, just realizing more and more, having these risk management settings in place, how I'm able to capitalize on a day like today and take the risk on the size of the trades I took today, because I had those risk management those settings in on Project X with Top One Futures. Basically, I'm taking a max $1,000 a day loss, and I'm looking for 2 to 3 grand max profit a day. 3 grand is my daily profit target, where I basically get locked out of the accounts. If I make 3 grand, I can't make more than that, which is something that's pretty cool. And today I took basically 2 grand in one trade and put in each account. So just all in all, just this is the kind of trading I want to do. One and done, catching the move in the morning, being done with it, not trying to chase anything later on in the day. And yeah, just a solid day overall. So let's have a look at what I was looking at in the morning when I got to the desk, and then we'll get into the one trade I took, and we'll break that down and have a quick peek at the calendar, and we're done. So getting to the desk in the morning, as you can obviously see, yesterday we had price come get a decent sized pullback, basically after we set in this London Open, this massive 80-point candle on Sunday evening, let's call it, Sunday midnight my time. And basically price made the highs and we get a pullback. But again, like if you're looking at this in the overall picture, you're still making higher lows, right? Just higher lows all the way up. So this is still looking bullish. And what I think it is, a lot of the tariff news is starting to finally, bake in. We're starting to hear real numbers. We're starting to hear deals being made. There's not as much as this speculation going on anymore. Is it going to be something? Is this a threat? Well, what's going on here, right? Things are starting to finally get baked into the markets. And I think people are starting to realize that, these as scary as all the tariff news was, in hindsight, and whether you agree with me or not, I think a lot of this was just needed just to shake up, the system itself. I think we've just been, in a cycle for how long of free money and doing all these things with interest rates and all that, that it just something had to give, and here we are today, with all this tariff news. But like I said, as the tariff news is finally starting to get baked in, and we're starting to hear some real numbers, and understanding where this is going and where it's not going, I think the market's just looking to, now it's time to capitalize on what's going on with the earnings and everything. So we had this basically close yesterday, sets in a high a day up here, and I think it basically price just pulled down through the overnight, but it was not much at all. And like I got it marked out here. We got previous day's value area high, previous day's point of control, and previous day's value area low. And as you can see, as it chops around previous day value area high, it found a ton of support at this previous day's New York VWAP, which is this yellow line here. And for me, I would only be looking longs. I could even see price coming down. Even if we did take out this previous day's New York VWAP, I could look for it to find some support at previous day's point of control. I would only even think to get short if we took out previous day's value area low, which is basically, yesterday's low from the days. And yeah, so unless we get, unless you see something like that, I wouldn't even be. Let's just forget about it. Let's just not have a strong bias, but we need to see some of these levels get taken before we look at the seller stepping in at all. And basically for me, it was, I got to the desk this morning, and coming off of that loss yesterday, it is what it is. I wanted to stick to my rules and my process, and I took $1,000 loss on both accounts, and I got locked out because that's what the limit I have it set to. But what I wanted to come into this morning was I wanted to be able to trade more size. I've been trading 5, maybe 10 micros, but I want to get back to trading 10 to 20 micros. I just want to be able to have some size on, so that when there is a move, I'm able to pull the trade sooner and take profits versus holding on for that much more, because I'm in such a small size for the kind of profit targets I'm shooting for. And, we get the market open here. Buyers take control right away. I don't get to the desk until about, it's somewhere in here. So I've missed this move. I would have looked to maybe got in here or got in here, just seeing this, the buyers being in control and everything that's going on in the overnight. You had the CPI pin back here, and I could see the CPI pin getting taken out on the top side. So just something I was looking at, and clearly because I got to the desk, like I always do, I don't take a trade till the 15-minute opening range sets in. Range sets in, comes back down. I have a low a day high day VWAP anchor on here. And for me, there was a part of me that wanted to be in the trade. I could see where price was going, and I wanted to put some risk on. I wasn't going to put my stop back down here below the opening range. I know if we get below this New York VWAP and these sellers decide to come in, I could see a push right back down here to this previous day's New York VWAP. So for me, I just get in long here. I get in 10 micros. I got my stop down here. And basically, I'm seeing orders at 57.85 all the way to 5900. And 5900 is going to be my final TP, which is, I believe, right there. And basically, price chops around for a few minutes. I'm okay with it because we're not even touching the New York VWAP. What actually sold me on this trade was this pin right here. The sellers come in, they try to take this thing down, and the buyers just close back up here. And I'm thinking this is gonna want to come higher. And then on this break of the low or high day VWAP, I decide to add in 10 more. The CVD on Bookmap, everything is telling me it's bullish and we can see a push higher to at least 58.90. And now I change my strategy a little bit. So I added 10 more. I'm in 20 now. If we can get up to 58.90, that'll put me at 10 points. That'll put me exactly where I want to be on the trade, and I'll be good with it, having that more size on. So adding the size in gave me the ability to take the trade off sooner versus having to wait for it to get somewhere, just double or triple. Like instead of having to go 20 or 30 points, I can go 10. I can scalp this trade. You want to try and scalp some of this momentum. And basically, as price got higher and we took the opening range and we kind of held it here for a minute, but NQ's already taken it to the top side. NQ is looking, favorably more bullish, but nothing crazy. And, as we get up to the 58.90 target, I can see everything. This is looking bullish. I'm not seeing the seller step in anywhere here yet. So what I decided to do was I took half the trade off. I think I was up $500 at that point. I locked my stop down here at break even. For me, there was a lot more reward than there was risk at this point. I could have closed the full trade out for $1,000, but instead, with everything, if this was doing this, I probably would have just taken my 10 points and be done with it. But this straight climbing up and then seeing these orders coming on at 5,900 and 5,910, and they were just stacking up, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I said, you know what, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm up $500. Worst case scenario, I'm going to walk away out of this trade at $500. I'm not upset with that. These are things that I just have to understand. I didn't get back the losses from yesterday, but I'm still going to walk away at $500. But on the flip side, if this works out and plays out, I'm going to get back the loss and some. And once we get up, price keeps trying to push higher and we take the 5,900 level, I trail the stop aggressively. I have my TP up here at 59.10 set, basically going to put me at max profit for the day that I want to make on this account, $2,000, kind of where I am. 3,000, if we had, a ton of bullish momentum, I would let it go to 3, but $2,000 is kind of the sweet spot for my consistency rule, where I want to be before I take a payout on this account. And basically, as price pushed higher, I just trailed the stop and I had my stop down here. These two candles set in, this third one prints, boom, hit my TP. I'm out, I'm done. I'm up 1960 per account in 2 accounts. I didn't have the third account that got reset yesterday with the new top one futures, the rules. They reset if you were more than 1% in drawdown, you'd get a free reset. That account reset yesterday, so I never attached attached it to this account. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit of the flow before I just started changing things, and so I just left that account alone. I didn't even trade it. But yeah, that's it. I'm up 2K in 2 accounts, 4K over 2 accounts. So I don't think I could ask for a better trading day than this. And then coming back and just looking at the calendar just to wrap it all up. Like, yeah, big red, big green, right? I'm up on the week. I could literally stop trading today and be up on the week 2K. So this is how I want to trade. This gives me the ability to come in now, trade with some size in the rest of this week, and just keep stacking up the wins in these accounts and get them towards a payout. So super stoked. Today's one of those days. If you weren't long, if you were not flat or long, you should really be looking at what you're looking at in the market when you're trying to chase the shorts, because the buyers have been in full control. And I expect some sort of a pullback maybe later today, maybe into the overnight, but this is just how the markets go, right? They go up, you get a pullback, go up, right? But unless some crazy news comes out, which who knows, things can change very, very fast. But all in all, as long as you manage your risk well today, you capitalized on the bullish momentum. I'm going to assume that everybody that traded was either up or flat. Those were the only two outcomes that should have came out of a day like today. So, always thankful, being along watching these videos. Click subscribe, comment, all these things. I'm going to be starting a giveaway tomorrow where I'm going to be giving away a straight to funded 50K straight to funded top one futures account. You're going to have to want to watch the videos, comment, subscribe. I'll have some rules, but basically I think it's a $300 value that I'm going to be giving away for free. So huge value there. For all you guys that watch my videos and gals, I appreciate you guys and I want to give something back. So definitely it'll be exciting, but we'll start that giveaway tomorrow and go from there. And enjoy the day. Cheers.